Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and welcome to advertising offered by Harper College Marketing 217. This is a fully online class. This orientation will just show you how to move around within Blackboard, which is a course management system that Harper College utilizes. So you're going to see, you already signed into Blackboard. I'm not going to, my job is not to teach you how to use Blackboard. My job is to teach you the subject matter. Blackboard, if you go into Blackboard, they have a whole bunch. There's a Blackboard help. They have a variety of different videos that will show each aspect, how to do forums, how to upload information, how to move in Blackboard. Hopefully you have that all done. So now you sign into Blackboard, you find this class, and this class is Marketing 217. It's going to come up there. You're always going to see my cute face up here. You have always look at the announcements, always going to be on there. What announcements for the week, and usually tells you, hey, the week is open, the homework. So look at the announcements. I send the announcements to your Harper email. That's the only email that if you're doing any kind of correspondence to me outside of Blackboard, it has to be utilizing the Harper email, and that's because of FERCA requirements that I know that the person that I'm emailing or talking to is actually the person that signed up for this course. No way around it. So if you trying to communicate with me outside the Blackboard platform, utilize an email. If it's AOL or Verizon or whatever email, it just goes to my quarantine. I look at it maybe at the end of the month, so it doesn't work. Anytime I send the announcements, all the announcements are attached to your Harper email that you've been assigned when you registered for this class as a student at Harper. No two ways around it. So don't say I emailed Dr. George, never responds to me unless it's in the Harper email, goes in the quarantine, I don't even look at it. And when you send it in an email to me, one thing to remember, in the subject matter in the email, write Marketing 217 or whatever course you're taking me online, so I know who you are. I know you're one of my students. I've teach a variety of classes, I have a variety of students. This way I know exactly where to go and what issue you're talking about. Okay? So you say I got kicked out of the test, Marketing 217. That's all you need, Marketing 217. Help. I need help to access the homework assignment. So I know where you belong at. Okay? So, and this one here just tells you about the book. It tells you about this orientation. It gives you some little information on here. Everything you're going to need in here, you look at this orientation, click. Remember, everything that you're going to find is right in here. Your major thing when you come into this online class, we're going to start focusing on weekly assignment, your discussion boards, your forums, your course documents, all the, you could access a lot of the homework assignments through different ways here, but I created all the links in your weekly assignments to make it easier for you. So when I'm looking at this online system check, I'm not going to go into here. Let me just close this off. But what you'll find out in here is set up. I just close it. It'll tell you what kind of web browser you need. It has things to check to make sure that you understand what's required for your computer to take a virtual online class. If you're taking it at the Harper in their mega labs, you don't have no issue because they already are set up. You could go access in there. It has the right RAM and memory and everything else is already in there. Okay, so you have that. You have a little information about me. Here's my face, just general information so you know. Okay, so let's go into the weekly assignment. Your whole life is going to be about this weekly assignment. Once the week starts, I will always open up the week either Saturday, Sunday around noon will be open for those who get a head start. You have my syllabus in here. Read the syllabus, tells me everything you need, tells you about the points, about the grading, print it out. It gives you some information how you're going to be graded in here. But you're going to click in here into this week. Now, the week opens from Monday to Sunday midnight. I close it off. But I have different things that are due prior to Sunday midnight. So let's click on see what we have for this week. I click on this week. What do I have here? For this week, I have read 3 chapters. You'll either be reading, depending if you're taking me for a late start 8-week course. This happens to be an 8-week course, or you're taking me for a 16-week course. So then you'll be doing 2 chapters a week instead of 3 chapters a week. Instead of a forum, if you'll still be doing a forum. In the 16-week course, you'll be doing some kind of teamwork, because I have a little more time to explain it. In an 8-week course, I've done it before. I'm not sure yet. So look at what's required. But for this one, right now, you're going to read the 3 chapters. You're going to have 3 chapters, and you're going to complete your quizzes, and you're going to have a forum. So your first forum is going to enter that's worth 20 points. Your chapter quizzes are worth 45 points, 15 points for each quizzes. There's a homework, usually about 10 points, and this one's 10 points. Here's my short lectures, and I'm going to have one that has, for my concept maps. I'll have a link created in here that says concept maps. So let's talk about our concept maps. I'm jumping back and forth. So this is everything else in your weekly homework assignment. So let me just build this right now. We're live right in here. Might as well do it. And I'll do a course link. I'll put it in here. So either do it now or do it later. So it makes it real easy for me. You don't have to worry about this. I'm doing real quickly. Okay, I got that done. So if I click on you can click on my concept maps here, even though if I got the week closed, a lot of times I may have them ahead of time. Or you could click on them here, which will basically take you right there. So right now I only have one showing for you because this is an orientation. And this one's just going to be an overview of what you're going to see in this chapter, in the book that you're utilizing. Okay, so I'm going to click on here. And I've got this, and here's how a concept map's going to look. Sometimes you'll have it in 2 pages, sometimes you'll have it in 3 pages. You can make this concept map as big as you like. So that's a little bit too big here even for my eyes. Let's go 125. So here's my concept map. It's consider a mind map. This one here, if I would look at it, is maybe 20 PowerPoint. So I utilize a lot of concept maps. You'll have one tier, so it just tells you what we're going to do. We're going to talk about big picture. It's a quick overview. I have a whole YouTube just talking about this, so I'm not going to go into it right now. I just want you to print it out. And as you're reading, write your notes on here. You write in here, because I'm just giving you real brief information from the PowerPoint. You just write, now I understand it. Utilize these when you're taking a test. Utilize this when you're doing your research paper. Because in a research paper, you're required to have 35 concepts, vocabulary words or concepts within your paper. So where do I find them? I'll have them in my concept maps as you go forward. Okay, so I'm not going to close this off. I don't want to look at this. Now, when you close out of here, don't close all of them because you still want to be in Blackboard. So I close on here. So now I'm in here. So I go back to my weekly assignments. Okay, I'm back into week 1. We went in here. The link, what happens, it goes one way versus 2. Okay, so now you have this. Before I go into, let me go into the forum because most people, this is the hardest thing. You're required. The forums in my class, on a virtual class or an online, the forums replace the lecture. If you take the quizzes and do everything else but never go into my forums, there's no way you could pass my class. If I have to in the 2 or 3 weeks saying, is this student attending your class, Dr. George? My answer will be no. You have to basically be in the forums. It's no different that you have to come to the classroom to have so much time in discussion. The forums replace the lectures within the classroom. So what's required in my first forum? My first forum is going to be an easy forum. You're going to click in here, and here's the forum. It says week 1 forum. What's required? Before I go into any things with the forum, here's what's going to happen. Every week, you're going to have a forum. The forums are worth 20 points or 25 points. Sometimes you'll have 2 forums. Most of the times, I have 1 major forum. And this one, you'll have this forum here, and then I may have another forum just to get some, what I call an icebreaker forum. Icebreaker forum, you just could go in and say, I got no questions, but you're still required to look into the forums and see if you could what other students are asking. Remember, in the classroom, if a student asks a question, I go, George, that's a great question. Everyone hears it. In the forum, just like when you email, when you're doing on YouTube or Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube, Facebook, or an email, people could CC you on there. You don't have to respond to every email, but you're reading it so you have a general information. So the forums, you're required to read everyone's posts, but what you have to do is you read everyone's posts, and then you're required to respond to, I'm looking at how many replies? I'm looking at 9 to 12 replies weekly, not all at one time, at different times within the week. Let me explain that again. So you're going to reply. Now let's go. This is the first form. You're going to click on here. This is my form. Tells you what I want. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Just some general information to get the form going. You're going to click on here. And now what's going to happen? You're going to click on here. For those who've never been on a forum, it says this is a graded forum. You're going to come in here. I already created one in here. But let's say I created one. I want to create a thread. I'm going to create a new thread. I allow you to create a new thread. So you come in here and you say, hi again. I am George, okay, whatever, and then you post your information in here. You have a spell check, so it spells your word back and forth, and then you could do an attachment, and then you submit it. I'm going to cancel this. That's all you have to do. So now you submit it, and then I'm going to cancel it. Now you submit it, and pretend I'm coming in here, and here's how you're going to see it. Hi, I'm George. So now what you're going to do, you're going to have yours. Your form. You're going to have different students. I grew up in Chicago. Hey, I grew up in Chicago also. So what I expect you to do, you're going to click on I grew up in Chicago, and hi, I'm George, and now I'm going to reply to George. That's what I'm looking. I am looking for 10 to 12 or 9 to 12 replies to other students other than me. You're required, your form, your 20 or 25 point, the first post has to be to my answering the questions I ask you. Tell me something about yourself. You answer that. Then other students will reply to that, and now you're looking how other students replied. I'm looking at advertising. You're going to say, I'm going to advertise in hot dogs in the Palatine area. And here's, I'm a Hot Dog George is my company, and I'm going to do an ad. And here's how I think I'm going to present the ad, and here's the media, or here's the time, or here's my demographic, or whatever. So that's what those are questions I asked you in the forum, and you responded to me. Now other students will respond to every student's going to have to respond to my questions individually. To me first. That's worth 7 points or 5 points, depending if it's 20, 25 points, 7 points. If you don't respond to me first, you're not going to be able to see other students' response in the following weeks. This week I leave it open because it's a little bit too confusing for students. They're trying to learn the form. Next week when I ask you a homework or a form and say, give me some information about here, before you see the other students' responses, you have to respond to me. That's how I have it set up. What I found out, I asked a question, or I asked students to see a video and give me their feedback. And so a lot of students, I have my overachievers, which I love. That's what I am. They're going to put it right in. So I got 10 responses. Boom, 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 I'm in here. Other students say, I don't want to watch the video. I'm just going to look and see what Jackie or Sally wrote, and I'll just take a little bit of everyone's and I'll put it in there. I know I'll do good. That's not fair to anybody else. That's not fair to you. So you will not see any other's responses in week 2 until you respond to mine. Then it's open. Then you respond to other students. I will try to always respond to you first. And then after a while, I am not looking how much you respond to me. I want to see how interactive you are with other students, similar to how interactive you would be in the classroom. This is a skill set you need in business. Most of you will be communicating, especially in advertising or marketing, that's the field you're going, or in management to other supervisors or other team members. You'll be communicating to individuals through email, through Skype, through FaceTime, other than a face-to-face. So how do I develop that interaction? That's what these forums are for. If so the forums, the first forum, your first post has to be responded to me by Tuesday to get the forum going. Anytime you start it, once it's open, you can respond Monday, Sunday. If it's open Tuesday morning or Tuesday right before midnight, you respond to me. Then it opens up. If you respond to me after Tuesday, by Wednesday or Thursday, you already lost 7 points. Just like that. Because I want the form to go. Okay? So now you responded to me, you look at the other student. Now I want you to start responding to other individuals. The forum is always open from Monday to Saturday noon. At Saturday noon, I turn it off. And if you didn't respond or you didn't get your 10 replies to other students on 3 different days, I don't want 10 replies on Tuesday. I got it done. I'm no longer. That is no longer a forum. Or I don't want 10 replies on Friday. There's no way people are going to respond to you. I don't want 10 replies on Saturday right before it's done. That's not a forum. That's a download. Understand me? The whole thing is to learn how to communicate within the week. When a customer or your boss asks you something, you say, well, Saturday is the only day I'm going to respond to all my customers. You're not going to have any customers. You have to be interactive within the whole week, okay? And that's where you're going to, easy points. You're going to, well, easy points. You got to do the homework, you got to read it, but those are 25 points. If you don't do any interaction, you don't get any points. Are we good? Open Monday, closes at noon, and noon Saturday. Saturday noon should be just reading just 1 or 2 posts or replying questions, but not your heavy work. You should have that all done. Most people will have their forms done by Thursday, the required posts and everything else, and then but you're still required to read the forms to make sure there isn't anything else that came up that I could help. Your job is how to help and assist other individuals. So when you're responding on the form in your subject, you're responding back to somebody else like me. I grew up in Chicago. That's cool. That's nice. I don't want just one sentence. Yeah, that's a great idea. I want looking at least for a paragraph or 2 within the form, written professionally, utilizing the person's first name always. That's how I could track the form. And then I respond to them back and forth. And now I'm looking at how you interact with other students to keep the dialogue going. I will throw in every now and then when I see the form dwindling down, people don't know what to say, I will throw in something, and in your subject area, I'll take it over and I go, please help the student, Dr. George, to get other people going. Or did you consider this? To get the form so you'll get your 10 posts going forward. If you have anything longer than 2 or 3 paragraphs, do another thread and just reference it, or you could send in as an attachment. Okay? So that takes care of the forms. Let's go back in here. Hi, I got rid of the forms. I go back into my weekly discussions, my weekly homework. It's for some reason that I think it's because I don't have it set up. I have to keep on going back. Usually when you finish the form and you complete it, you should go back into your weekly assignment. Now remember, the form ends on Saturday noon. Your homework and everything else I leave open all the way to Sunday midnight. Your quizzes are open to Sunday midnight. But you can't actually really do most of the forms or answer any questions unless you read the material. So hopefully you read the material so you could start using the vocabulary and concepts within your discussions to help other students within the forum. So you have the forums. Your quizzes are set up in here. I created all the links. You could also find your quizzes through your course documents. That's where there's the students' PowerPoint links that the publishers provide. So when you go on your quizzes, you click on your quizzes here. Again, this is going to kick me out. You click on your quizzes. The first week, your quizzes are 45 minutes, more than enough time so people get used to the forum, how to take quizzes online. Afterwards, your quizzes are going to be 30 minutes. You get 15. The rule of thumb is that for every question should be 30 seconds or less. I give you 2 minutes, so because it's an intro class to get you used to. You have more than enough time. Read the material, use the concept maps to prepare for the quizzes, and you should be okay. So you got 45 minutes. You could go forward, you go backward. Once you start the quiz, you got to complete the quiz. What happens when you finish the quiz, you're just going to get a raw score. You got 14 out of 15. You got 5 out of 15. Whatever you're gonna get, 5 out of 15 is an F. 14 out of 15 is an A. After the due date ends by Sunday midnight, you could go back and click on that, and it'll basically will now show you which question you got wrong, and it'll provide you some feedback and where in the chapter you could have it. This helps for students who finish the quizzes quickly, and or other students are trying to say, hey, I know this answer here. It minimizes the cheating within a virtual classroom. Okay, so you only get the results. Afterwards, you always could click back and see which questions you got right or wrong. Okay. So we'll finish that. So I'm going to go back to my Blackboard. So the quizzes go forward, backwards. When you hit submit, that means you're submitting it in the quizzes. It's going to tell you missed so many questions. Make sure you go back and complete the questions. And when you submit, it's done. Here's your score. You finish, and then you go to the next quiz. I used to do the quizzes. I would do all three quizzes together at the same time. So you'd have quizzes 1, 2, and 3 as one quiz. And online, it doesn't work out well for me. What I like to do, read the chapter, do the quiz. Read the chapter, do the quiz. Yeah, because it's all new information you're learning. So I'd rather have you read it and look at my concept maps, look at the PowerPoints, look at my lectures, and then take the quiz. And then I could go for the next one. Remember, the final exam is going to be a cumulative exam covering all these chapters. So make sure you learn it well. Okay, so now I've got the quizzes. Okay, so I'm back in my weekly chapters. I finished the quizzes. Submit the homework. I got my short lectures. I got my mind maps, so you already wonder how to get in here. You can find them in here. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you, I'm going to make you, you're going to be doing a paper, or you're going to be doing homework assignment. Sometimes the homework assignment, you're going to submit me a homework assignment, a written homework assignment, usually about 1 page or 2 pages, about 400 words, so it's about 1.5 page homework assignment. You can do some assessment on yourself or something else I'm going to ask you specifically, so you're going to submit the homework assignment here, but you may also be talking about it within the forum. So you did the homework assignment, and within the forum and maybe a discussion. So I'm going to click on here, homework assignment, so you're going to find out this is a generic one. And what you're going to do, here's your homework. Whenever you see this is a homework assignment. And now this one is for chapter 2, so I'm not going to make you do a homework assignment chapter 1. It's like you just come into class and you got to get familiar with the class, how do I move around, everything else. So I want you to be successful. So this is just a homework assignment for chapter 2. It's going to be laboratory. Now that you know a little about slogans, create one for your self-personality or a real imagined company. So you're going to do a slogan. What's a quick slogan? George is a quick talker, doesn't know what to say. He talks. I don't care. I'm just making this up now. I'm live. So, all right, so you can a slogan. And here's the next one. Need to start on a slogan assignment. Here's where some slogans, to give you a hint. The publisher adds slogans, general student. So you could go in there, clicks, and tells you certain slogans the students created, and it'll help you out. Now, I come up with a slogan. I come up on here. It's worth 10 points. I, as a student, have to click on this. And now, here's the due date. I gave you the due dates already for last week, too. And now, here's 2 things where students mix up. Worth 10 points. You could attach a Word document right here. Browse my computer. Okay, and attach a Word document. Right, okay, or you could write your submission directly in here. Do not put it in the comments here. The comments, I can't grade it. I can't do anything else. It just gives me the feedback. It has to be write to submission here. Click on this here, and then basically, here's my homework. My slogan is George is a quick... Whatever, George's, my slogan is fast talking. And then I'm just going, so okay, that's just my slogan, and I'll add some other stuff in here. And then I just, basically I have this in here. I agree to submit my reference databases. All my homework assignment is going through what we call check it. It looks for plagiarizing. It looks, if you've quoted somebody else, make sure that you quote it right. So you have to agree with it, or the homework doesn't go through it. Because what I found out, students will copy other people's homework. They'll cheat. They'll do. Remember, in a virtual classroom, I just want to make sure that it's your work. So you go, yes, I agree. And and in the comments, you could go, enjoy the writing, enjoy my slogan, George. Okay, whatever. Are you okay? Do you see what I'm talking about? It won't work for me, and then you just go submit. I can't really do it because I'm not safe, because I'm not an instructor. I mean, I'm an instructor, so I can't grade myself. And then you're all done. Okay, and then you hit submit, and you're finished. You see what I'm talking about? So I have in here, by submitting this, self-assignment, you have everything else in here, whatever you want, and I just hit submit, and I'm finished. The assignment has no files. Okay, so I'm going to cancel this because I can't do anything as a student, and that's how you're done. And you finish. And now what's going to happen in Blackboard when you go underneath week 1 or week 2 homework assignment, chapter 2 homework assignment, you're going to see a green asterisk. I can't show you this because I'm in the instructor's mode and I'm not a student. The green asterisk means I haven't graded it yet. Once I grade it, you'll see a grade. And then in there, you'll see my comments, everything else in there. So when you click on your grade, let's say you got a B or you got a D. What the heck, I got a D? Click on there. You're going to go in there. You're going to see your submittal. You're going to see my comments, any kind of comments that are written within the paper. So if you send the paper in, send it to a Microsoft Word or an RTF file, you save it in there or an attachment, it'll read it. And I will be able to access it, put my comments in, grade it, and send it back to you. This way you know how to improve. Some students, I'm not going to read it. What the heck? I don't care. I got to see. If I'm telling you you're missing something, read it so when you do the next homework assignment, you know what you did wrong. Are we good? Okay, so we're back to, I finished this with my homework assignment. I'm back to week 1, intro. Okay, so you know how to submit it. You got my short lectures. You have any quizzes. You have once in a while on some of the homework assignment, when you click into the homework assignment, in here you may have, here's your homework assignment. And down in here I may have another link that may be assessment I want you to do first. You're a good advertiser. Do you have the skills for advertising? Is this the profession you should be in or not? So I have other kind of assessment skills in there for you. So you'll do the assessments and then you'll do the submittal. Very easy, real quickly to do. So in a nutshell, welcome to Marketing 217, fully online, offered by Harper College. So all you need, here's my syllabus, here's your orientation to the class information, here's some information about myself, here's my weekly assignment. Your whole life will be a weekly assignment, but you could go into different areas. Here's course documents, short lectures if I have them for that topic. Here's Harper iTunes U. You could click on there. They have all my lectures, everything else in there. You have to have iTunes loaded into your personal computer, or the labs have certain computers have iTunes. If there's a workstation you like working at, have the person at the desk, I want iTunes loaded there so I could access Harper iTunes. It's a company, it's a college program that has my lectures in there, 20 minutes, sometimes an hour. It has other instructors that may be teaching the same class I'm teaching. If you find me confusing, maybe click on another instructor. If there's one in there, oh, now you understand it. Utilize this as a resource. I still provide you the grade, but there's other instructors that may provide it, present the same material a little differently. But at least I understand, okay? So you have that. One thing you have to understand is my grades. Where the hell? My grade. You click on that. Here's how my grades are set up. I don't have any grades because I'm an instructor. You will have the first column will be the letter grade, your running total, what you have to this point. Right now you have nothing. They haven't done anything else, but we do the first form. So you'll see A, B, C, D. These are your running total. At the end, you'll see your total points, and then sometimes I may have the percentages. So always check your grades to see if I'm improving. Now, you will always work weekly assignments. Opens up from Monday, runs all the way to Sunday midnight, turns off. But different homework assignments are due. The forums have to be completed by Saturday noon. Saturday noon. Your first post is to me by Tuesday, and you won't be able to see it the following weeks any of the other students' replies or questions or their posts to me until after you do your first post. Then you'll see my comments in there, and then you have to reply to 10 other students or 3 other students. I'm looking at 10 other replies to other students, not just saying, hey, it's a nice job, giving them some information, saying, that's a good point. Did you consider this? Remember, the forums replace the lectures within the classroom. The only good thing you have here, you could do your forums, your posts at different times. You could use your smartphones to do your postings. You could do your readings in your smartphones, reply. There's different technology out there. You have 24/7 time to complete your forms, other time to reply to the student. Once the student replies to you, try to respond back to them, just like a customer. This is to help you learn how to communicate in a virtual setting. Most businesses, 50 to 60% of my interaction with customers nowadays is through the internet, or online, or on a virtual platform. So this is to help you. You will also be working with other, as an advertiser and marketing. I'm not always there at meetings with my clients, so I'm sending them YouTubes. I'm communicating with them in a virtual, through email or through some type of devices, or different programs that I have there, different medias that I might be utilizing within my business to communicate. So I'm trying to get you to build that relationship. How do I build that skill set, not only to do the homework, but to communicate in a virtual setting? Okay? So we have that. So your whole work is in here. You remember, you click in here, everything you need to do, you have everything on here. After the week is gone, the week is turned off. You no longer have access to any of this information. You're going forward. Unless you did the quizzes, you could click on it. The forms. Once the forms are done, it's turned off. So if there's any kind of information that you're looking for your paper, make sure you cut and copy it or respond to that individual. All the people, you might have read it there, but never responded to that individual. So when you click on your form grade, the information, even though the form's closed, you'll only see the responses you did to the people that you responded to. If you didn't respond to anybody, only one person, you only see that one person's responses. So try to be more interactive within the forums, and even though the forums are closed, you still can access them through the forum grades only to the students that you've made some kind of connection with. That's just the way the closed forums work. Okay, you have your quizzes are done. You can finish them, get them done. They're set up each quiz for each chapter. After you read the chapter, look at the concept maps, the PowerPoints, go for the quiz, and then go to the next chapter. But the quizzes, the due dates are by Saturday midnight. After Saturday midnight, they're closed off. You lost those points. Unless you contact me and there's some dire emergency, through email, utilizing Harper email, and then I may give you an extension. So when I give you an extension, even though it says close, if I told you have an extension, you click on it, and the extension just for you will be open, and you can complete the quiz. Okay, you have one time with the quiz, more than enough time to do it. You have a final exam, and make sure you learn how to submit the documents through the homework. Submit it on the due date. I'll have the date. Once the homework is due, look at the dates. Due date passed, homework's gone. Or if I do allow it after the due date, I will start knocking off 20% of the grade that you would have got. No different than if you are, my whole thing is time management. You have to be able to respond to the customer on the time that you or he agreed. You have to be able to provide, the homework assignment on that time. It's not fair for the other students because you want to do whatever you want to do. That's not how online and virtual classrooms work. Some online classes you might have had, you just came in there, you did the homework, did a couple of quizzes, and then you got your point. You didn't learn anything. You're basically a test taker. In this class, you'll learn the subject matter. I have as much confidence in my online students knowing the subject matter as I do in my face-to-face students. Okay? So this is your orientation. Your whole life is going to be in the weekly assignments. Once the week is gone, it's gone. You do your forums. You do your quizzes. You do your homework. Everything's submitted in here. All your homework, your exams, everything's done strictly online. And this is no different. What you learn here taking this strictly online is a lot of companies will do their training. Everything else is a web-based training, what they would call web-based training, and you're doing it all at your workstation at home. Remember, McGraw-Hill or Parsons, depending on the course you're taking, the academic side for the testing and everything else is a percentage, but not the full percentage of their business model. They do a lot of training and a lot of work with the corporations or businesses. So if you learn how to do this here and you're very proficient, how to communicate, how to do the quizzes online, you do real well when you have to do it at work and your job is required on that. Remember, the grades that I give here, if you look at the grading, the points you get here, look at your grades as academic currency. If you only did half the work, I'm not going to give you an A. I'm going to give you an F because you didn't complete it. If you did 80% of the work, I'm going to give you a B because you didn't do everything that I asked you to do. So I'm not paying you for the full because you didn't complete the full amount of work. How much effort you put into it is on that grade. We all want A's, and most of my online students, if you do the work, it's manageable. You do it through the week. It's organized. Here's what you have to do. Boom, boom, boom. You will get your grade that you deserve, and usually I'll end up with B's and A's. I do give F's. I do give D's. If you barely pass, I do give C's. C's is okay. You meet the expectations. If your expertise is going to be marketing, or which advertising falls in, or advertising, you should at least be getting a B or an A. When I look at your transcript as a manager or a potential employer, I said, okay, so you got a C in biology. I never did good in biology. Unless you're going to nursing. Don't get me wrong. But you got an A in. If you got a C in marketing, geez, you got a D in marketing. It's almost like an F. You got a little bit. You barely know enough. You just got a basic, how to spell marketing. So D, just get. D's are not transferable. D's are good for here to get your degree or your certificate at Harper College, but you can't transfer. You go to Ford University, all D's, you'll be taking all these classes over. So put the effort. I make it where it's very. You do a lot of stuff. But it's how it happens in business. I don't evaluate an employee by just one aspect that they do. I evaluate them on multiple aspects. So that's what I do here. You do all these little things within the week, you'll get your B's and A's, and you'll do well. And plus, you'll learn. You'll learn about advertising. All right. So my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This is your review. Your orientation. It says your orientation. For within this class, for this online class. Some of you already had me in other classes in supervision, consumer behavior. I forget that I teach online. So the format's the same. The way you move around the same. Enjoy and hang on, and you're going to have a virtual experience. You're going to be surprised. You'll be taking more online classes after this. And this online class, how Harper sets up their online courses, majority of the courses are similar. So when you go for your four-year university or you're doing a web-based training at your company, you're already very proficient. You already know how to move in the system. You don't have any problems. You do well. Again, welcome to Marketing 217 Advertising. This is your one and only online orientation, and I have different YouTubes, different things you could go into. Make sure you go into Harper, iTunes U, load it in. All my lectures will be always found in there. Once in a while I throw a couple in YouTube, but most of them, they're always going to be in there. Again, so welcome, and I'm glad you took this class. Harper College is a good school, transferable school, has a good name recognition. You will learn here. The skill sets you'll learn here may be the only skill sets you'll ever do in your business, or you, as Harper students, when they go for their bachelor's, they have a 80 to 90% success rate. What you've learned here, you have a good, solid foundation. Again, welcome to advertising, fully online. My name is Dr. George Mochocki. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the forum.